Hey everyone, so let's talk about something really important. If you're over 60 and you're taking vitamin B12 but still feel like something's, well, off, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to uncover a huge but super common mistake millions are making, and more importantly, how you can fix it.
So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're doing everything right, you're taking your B12 supplement every day, but you're still wrestling with that awful brain fog. You're still exhausted. Or maybe you just feel a little shaky when you walk. If you're nodding along, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. Picture this. There's a story about a 68-year-old man who, for 7 straight years, took his B12, and every time he went to the doctor, his lab work came back fine. But he could feel his energy just draining away. His balance was getting shaky, and his memory, it just wasn't what it used to be. And here's the kicker. He wasn't deficient in B12. He was just using it all wrong. Okay, so let's dive right into this B12 mystery. This really gets to the heart of it. Why a normal B12 level, especially after you turn 60, just isn't the whole story.
I mean, just listen to what happened to Margaret, a 71-year-old patient. Her B12 level was 420, which is smack dab in the middle of the normal range. Her doctor said everything looked okay, but her symptoms, that awful burning in her feet and feeling lightheaded, they just kept getting worse. Her story really shines a spotlight on the exact problem we're talking about today. So, what is going on here? Well, a standard blood test only measures the B12 that's kind of floating around in your bloodstream. But what really matters for your energy, for your nerve health, is the B12 that actually gets inside your cells to do its job. And for a lot of us over 60, you can have plenty of B12 in your blood while your cells are literally starving for it.
And why does that happen? Well, it turns out there are 2 main reasons our ability to absorb B12 takes a nosedive as we get older. First, more than half of us past 60 have lower stomach acid, and you need that acid to get B12 out of your food and supplements. And second, our stomachs start making less of this really crucial protein called intrinsic factor, which is like the key that unlocks B12 absorption in your gut.
So, knowing that, it leads us right to the 3 biggest mistakes people make with their B12 supplements. Let's break them down one by one. All right, the first big mistake, and this one is incredibly common. It's simply swallowing a regular B12 pill. Because of that drop in stomach acid and intrinsic factor we just talked about, most of that B12 you swallow can just pass right through your system without ever getting absorbed. It's just a really inefficient way to do it for so many of us over 60.
Mistake number 2 is all about what's actually in the pill itself. Not all B12 is created equal, not by a long shot. So if you look here, most of the cheap, common supplements use something called cyanocobalamin. It's a synthetic form, and your body has to convert it before it can be used. And that conversion process just gets harder with age. The much better choice is methylcobalamin. That's the active form, ready to go to work immediately. A patient named Robert, who was 72, made this one simple switch, and the difference was night and day. He felt more stable, and the tingling in his fingers started to fade.
And that brings us to the third and final mistake. This one has nothing to do with the type of B12 or how much you take. It's all about timing. You see, a lot of people treat B12 like a cup of coffee. They only take it when they feel a little run down. But that's not how it works. Think of B12 like building material for your nerves. To repair that protective coating around your nerves, you need a steady, consistent, daily supply. Taking it here and there just isn't going to cut it. Okay, so we've laid out all the problems. Enough of that. Let's pivot to the good stuff, the solution. How do you build a B12 plan that actually works and makes you feel better?
It really comes down to this simple 4-step method. Step 1, choose the active form, methylcobalamin. Step 2, use a sublingual method. That just means you let it dissolve under your tongue. This is brilliant because it bypasses the whole stomach issue and gets absorbed directly. Step 3, get the right dose, which for most people is between 1,000 and 2,000 micrograms a day. And step 4, the one we just talked about, be consistent. Take it every single day. No excuses.
And if you really want to fine-tune things, here are a few extra tips. Try to take your B12 in the morning, since it can give you a bit of a boost. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, which helps get those nutrients where they need to go. Be aware that some common medications like acid reducers or metformin can actually interfere with B12. And maybe most important of all, track how you feel, not just what a lab number says. And this is so key. Don't get hung up on the numbers. The real proof is how you feel in your everyday life. It's about feeling more stable when you walk across the room.
It's about your mind feeling clear again. That's the progress that actually matters. I mean, there's a story about a 75-year-old patient who stopped falling and got her confidence back, even though her blood test only changed a little bit. That's a win.
Okay, let's pull all of this fantastic information together into a simple action plan that you can start using like today. But first, a really important reality check. B12 is absolutely vital for nerve health, but it's not a magic bullet. It's not a cure-all. It can help repair nerves for sure, but it can't fix a structural problem like a pinched nerve from spinal stenosis. And it can't completely undo the damage from something like uncontrolled blood sugar. It's a powerful tool, but it's just one part of the bigger health picture. So here it is, your final takeaway checklist. First, ditch that swallowed synthetic pill. Second, switch to a sublingual active form like methylcobalamin. Third, aim for that 1,000 to 2,000 microgram dose every single day. Fourth, take it in the morning. And last but not least, focus on the real-world results, how you actually truly feel.
You know, the difference between just taking a supplement and actually using it the right way can be absolutely life-changing. One woman in her 70s made these simple changes, and after just 3 months, she said this: "I feel balanced once more, my steps feel reliable, words no longer slip away mid-thought." I mean, wow, that is the goal right there.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is your B12 really working for you? Or are you just going through the motions? Because the answer to that question could make all the difference in the world.